Hey sweet face, welcome back to Allison TV. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So before we get into the discussion, y'all already know, if you like this makeup look, go check it out because it was uploaded yesterday. I've been a little off track with my Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sometimes my Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays turn into Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, but we're still uploading 3 times a week. So just make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified when I upload a video, and like my videos because it really helps my channel to flourish. So now that that's out the way, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today, and that's venting, or should I say spilling our own beans. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. So, but no, it is a good idea to just not do it. But obviously, let's get in depth. I'm a tall figure. I'm an unforgiving, wild ass dog nigga. So, from a venter standpoint, if I'm venting to you about something, don't try to relate. Listen, if I call you and I'm venting to you because my man that did something that pissed me off, I don't care that you ain't got a man. If I'm venting to you because he ate my sandwich out the refrigerator last night, I don't care that your man cheated on you last week. If I'm venting to you because he forgot to lock the door on my car, I don't care that your man, whatever. He didn't wash the dishes last night. I don't care. When someone is venting to you, like they're emotional and they're passionate and they're venting to you, if you don't have anything positive to say to possibly make them feel better, please do not turn it into a you story. Saying about you, that person's upset right then. They don't care what you got going on. They don't care what you ain't got going on. They don't care. They just want somebody to listen to them. Sometimes when people go through stuff, it's hard to sit back and just realize that other people have it worse, because no matter what we go through, there's somebody going through a worse situation. That does not make us feel better about what we're going through. Everyone has the right to be upset when they're going through something. So don't try to make them feel better with you going through worse. It's not a competition. If you do that, you might honestly get your feelings hurt, because I'll straight up tell you, I don't care. I don't care. I called you to have a pity party right now, and you are being a party pooper with your sadness and drama. Don't poop my party. Now, I know that's a lot. I know it might seem unfair, but that's the rules in venting. I didn't make them. Those are the rules. When you are going to be friends with someone, or if you're going to be someone's shoulder to cry on, as annoying as it might be sometimes when somebody's crying about something because your situation is worse, you just have to be their friend and listen, because not everybody handles the same situations the same. Some people can't handle smaller situations, and then you have some people who can handle bigger situations. They just handle it well or carry it well, and that's nobody's fault. Everybody has their own limits to what overwhelms them. So just because something's not hard for you doesn't mean it's not hard for the next person. So just let them vent. Don't try to one up them, because it's not competition. At a moment, but it came and went. You don't want to play with him. So I'm guilty of this, but I don't do it purposely, and that's not judging people when they come to you. And I don't judge you. I don't judge anyone when they come to me and vent to me about things, but I've had friends who I view, if you're my friend, I view you to a certain standard. So it's like, if you come to me and you're venting to me about an F-boy, I'm going to be like, ma'am, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. But some people see that as judging them. And it's not that I'm judging you. I just think that you can do better and that you know better. And I want you to pick yourself up and be the bad bitch that you are. It comes from a good place. But what I've learned is sometimes you just gotta shut up and let that person get it out. So even though sometimes you have good intentions in behind the advice that you give someone, sometimes you just have to know when to give it. When they're highly upset and they're super passionate and they're just upset, just let them be upset. Because if you try, sometimes it comes out as judgment. I've learned that just over the years with different friends.
Funny how they shook. Pulling back the curtain by myself, take a look. Hey, I'm a bar spitter, I'm a hard hitter.
But I've also had people come back to me later. Like, they're mad in the moment when I give them advice, but then they come back to me later and they're like, you know what, you're right. You're right. You know, they understand that it's not me judging them. It's just me knowing their potential and seeing them not tap into it. Like, what are you doing? But for those of you who are not even trying to give advice, you're just literally judging your friend for things that they've done. Like, if they come to you and they tell you something and you're like, yeah, that's a no. Because at the end of the day, people who are like that, who like judge people for things that they've done, 9 times out of 10, they have not told you half of the things that they've done. And it's because they don't want to be judged, because they know how they are where they judge other people.
Bitch, please. And how long you been with Chris? 3 years? And how many times that nigga done gone upside your head and put his foot in your ass? Oh yeah, girl, how your eye feel? It's all right. It's all right.
At the end of the day, you know, what's done in the dark comes to the light. Even like embarrassing things that we don't want people to know sometimes. So don't judge anybody, especially when you know that there's people out there who know your dirt. Don't judge anybody. God always have a way of humbling you too. So don't just sit back and like judge nobody, because he will give you several seats, and the person that you were judging will have front row seats to it all. God work like that. So don't judge anyone when they're coming to you. They're vulnerable, and obviously they love you and trust you enough to tell you something that's whatever, as bad as it is. They love you and they're trusting you and they're being vulnerable with you. And when you sit up and you judge them, you don't realize that you're tearing that person down, because they think very highly enough of you to just vent to you and tell you something that they might not tell the next person. So don't judge nobody's situation, because at the end of the day, you can always end up there. Things that you think are crazy, that people might cry over, or that people are going through and they can't handle it, sometimes it's easier looking on the outside in instead of being in that situation.
Pulling back the curtain by myself, take a look. Hey, I'm a bar spitter.
Listen, if there's something very, very embarrassing that you don't want anybody to know, like some stuff you take to the grave, it don't matter what kind of best friend you make in this world. It don't matter how close you get to somebody. It don't matter if you marry somebody. Don't tell a soul. There are things that I've told people before that are like to the grave secrets that I still to this day just have so much anxiety, because I'm just like, why? Like, even if it's not to the grave, have you ever just sat there and talked to somebody and told them something, and afterwards you realize you should have just shut the heck up? Yeah, just shut the heck up. At the end of the day, everybody has a best friend, everybody has close friends, and you better believe when you tell somebody something, they just told somebody else that either they're not worried about you coming in contact with or crossing roads with, or that's just as good as them at keeping secrets. So especially even if it's your best friend, if they are coming to you and like, you know, don't tell anybody this, or if they're coming and telling you their best friend's secrets, you better believe you are not special. I used to think, oh, you know, this person's coming and telling me their best friend's secrets, so, you know, I must be really special. They feel like they can talk to me. They feel like they can open up to me. That's how people get you to open up to them, so then they can go tell your business to their other best friend. Just be careful.
Hot, super hot. Give me my respect.
Understand understand that when you tell people secrets, it is at your own risk. Understand that anything that leaves your mouth and goes to the next person, you are doing that out of your own risk, because it very much so can come out. We're all human, and honestly 90% of us have told somebody something that somebody has asked us or told us not to tell anybody. And because of that, I know I've done that before. I know that usually it's my closest friends that I know aren't gonna tell anyone, but understand that everyone thinks that way. And a lot of people really aren't good at ciphering out friends who can keep secrets. And then you just never know, like, if your friend who you feel like is really, really good at keeping secrets and the person's secret that you told, what if they fall out? Now, the person that you told the secret has so much ammo against this person, and this person's going all out because they don't know that they know their secrets. And some of y'all are different type of people when you're mad or when you're at odds with somebody. I, to this day, know secrets about people who have been at odds with me, or people who, I don't hate anyone, but people who try to get under my skin. There's certain things that I know, so when they're coming at me, you don't even understand how hard. Sometimes I wish I didn't know the secret, because you don't even want to know how it's hard. So understand, listen, I would never, unless you deserve it, and depends on how juicy the secret. Just don't tell it. And understand that everything that's sacred to you doesn't need to be shared. Some things should just be between you and God. Everything doesn't need to be shared. Understand that if somebody comes to you and tell you something and you tell somebody else, and then that person finds out and they come back and they upset, listen, you tell stuff at your own risk. You tell your own secrets at your own risk. You tell your friend's secret at your own risk, because a lot of that stuff can come back and bite you in the butt. And the best way to avoid it all, the best way to just not, if somebody tells you a secret, just keep the secret. If there's something you don't want anyone to know, just don't tell it.
They shook, pulling back the curtain by myself, take a look.
Listen, don't be a drama queen. Like, some of y'all are just straight up agents of chaos. If you have this issue, and because I understand sometimes people just want to be angry, and you have the right to be angry. If something happens to you that you don't like or whatever, you have the right to be angry. You have the right to feel how you feel. But understand, listen, I don't want to hear how you feel that way every day or every single time that I talk to you. I just don't. Especially if there could be a solution to this issue. Like, if you're steady walking into this issue, like, say for instance, you know you don't like this girl know you don't like her, yada yada yada, y'all gotta work together, whatever. If you're steady putting yourself in a position to where you and this girl are bumping heads, and like she's doing her part to stay away from you or whatever, and you not doing your part, or if you know that she's going out of her way to be whatever, and you just putting yourself in, listen, I don't want to hear it, because at the end of the day, you're going to look for the trouble. So if you're going to look for the trouble, be able to handle whatever happens next. Don't cry about it. We all have those friends who something happens to them and they have to talk to you about it every single time y'all talk. Or those friends that no matter what it is they're going through, no solution that you give them works. They're just, nothing works. Just for every solution you have, they have a problem. For every problem that you have, they have it worse. No, listen, just cut that person off, because y'all don't understand. That is so draining. And even me, like, even me, I can go through something and I'm the type of person, I have to talk about it 6,000 times before I can really get over it. But I understand that it's not okay to put that load on other people. I understand that my friend has every right to get annoyed with me when I call them to talk about the same problem over and over and over and over and over again.
Girl, how many times I got to hear you call
calling on the phone about his ass?
Like, sometimes y'all need to just stop and really feel. Like, when something makes you angry, just stop in the moment and feel that anger and get over it. Let it go. If you're constantly going through the same issue over and over and over, especially like for years at a time, and you've taken no initiative to remove yourself, then I don't want to hear it. If you have taken no solution to try to remove yourself, like, one thing I can't stand is when people sit back and let stuff stress them out to the point to where they're just, I don't know, manic. That is crazy to me. That's something that I didn't like. That's a big reason why I didn't like my last job, because people will come tell you stuff. One thing I can't stand is people will come tell you stuff, but they don't want you to address the issue or address the person. That's, you're not finna come tell me something and then say, but don't say nothing. Then why you tell me? Sometimes you have to dead the issue. Sometimes you need to nip it in the bud, because some people literally will not stop. Like, granted, a lot of people do things for attention and whatever, but some issues will not stop until you nip it in the bud. Call it confrontational, call it problematic, but at the end of the day, at least you don't have to sit down and constantly stress out about something that could have been handled easily. Like I said, when you have a problem, take a minute to process your feelings, to understand that your feelings are valid. You have a reason or a right to be angry. First of all, find out if, you know, make sure you're not tripping, and make sure that you do, like, you're not overreacting. Take a minute to feel what you feel and then come up with a solution. But if you just have an issue and you want to constantly talk about the issue and you constantly want to be drama, I can't be your friend. I can't. I think people forget that the definition of insanity is literally approaching something the same way constantly and expecting a different result. If you have a problem, constantly barking about it is not gonna do anything. Constantly handling it the way that you're handling it is not gonna do anything. Sometimes you literally just have to remove yourself, and you owe that to your friends to try to find a solution to your problems. Because like, who wants to sit up and listen to some person, even if it is your best friend? Like, who wants to sit up and listen to somebody just go on and on and on about the same thing day in and day out? And if your friend is trying to give you advice, some of y'all just gotta get y'all's heads out y'all butt and just listen to them. Like, I would never, if somebody's trying to tell me something or give me advice and I consider them my friend, because obviously I would only vent to my friend, I hold my friends up to a certain standard. So anything that they tell me, I don't think that they're being malicious. I don't think that they're being judgmental. I think they're trying to give me a solution to my problem, because obviously I came to them with an issue. So why would I be upset with them giving me a solution to it? I think it's absolutely crazy for you to get upset with someone who is offering you a solution from the outside looking in. And if you don't trust their judgment, don't vent to them. Simple. But guys, we owe it to our friends to give them a break. Everybody has their own issues. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's life is not perfect. So no one wants to sit up and listen to you be self-centered with your issues every single day. I'm just the type of person that I can't do it. And like I said, I understand. We go through things, and like, I'm the type of person when something like bothers me, I have to sit up and talk about it 600 times before I'm fully over it. But something that I've learned to do is, if something upset me, sit there, feel it, go through all the feels, validate your feelings, and make sure you're not tripping, and let it go. Because the more you stuff inside and try to make yourself feel like you're not crazy, and let people gaslight you and sit up and try to think that people are judging you, that takes so much energy. And with you trying to stuff it inside, you never really stop being angry. If something makes me angry, I'd rather it just make me angry for the moment and move on. Because stress is the #1 killer, and I refuse to let anybody stress me out. Sorry.
Stand it for me like I went blind, dog. You gotta hand it to me. Gotta give me that.
Like I said, We all have our own issues. Everybody, even though you might feel like the next person's issues is smaller than yours, it doesn't matter. Everybody handles things differently. Everybody's mental is different. So other people are not able to handle things on your level, and you're not able to handle things on other people's level, because there's always somebody out there who has it worse than you. So just listen, I let you vent the first time, I let you vent the second time, the third time I'm gonna be a little Third time I'm probably gonna offer you a solution if I haven't the other 2 times. But after that, there's just certain things that you just have to understand that I shouldn't be venting about this. If your boyfriend done cheated on you for the 100th time and you're not gonna leave him, and you vent to your friends the 99 other times, just skip out this one time. Just keep it to yourself. If you know you're not gonna leave them and you just upset or whatever, just have a girls' night, whatever, drink you some mimosas, smoke something, and keep it to yourself. Just go out and have some fun, but you ain't gotta vent about it. Those girls' nights or brunches where everybody just gets together and have fun and not really discuss their problems, just literally come together and have fun, I love those. I live for those. If you got something going on in your life and you want to handle it a certain way, but you know other people don't really handle it that way, or are not gonna understand, then understand that some people just don't agree with you, and just don't vent about it. Everybody has a right to the difference of opinion. Everybody has a right to a difference of a mindset. And I mean, it makes no sense for you to sit up here and be upset with your friend because you feel like, oh, well, my problems are worse than yours and your life is so much better than mine. But then when they offer you advice on something that you're venting to them about, you get upset and you feel like they're judging you. That's something that's very internal. Because like I said, if you are my friend, I trust your judgment. And if I don't like your advice or I don't agree with your advice, I will respect your advice. I probably won't say that I don't agree with it, or I probably won't say that I don't think that's, I'll just be like, okay. And I just know not to vent to you about that anymore. And I don't know what's hard about that. But again, people just handle things differently. If I'm venting about something and I don't like what you're saying back to me, I'm not gonna hold that against you. I just know I can't talk to you about this because I know everybody doesn't handle situations the same. If we did, we'd all have the same life. We all wouldn't be making crazy decisions. Man. So just understand that everybody ain't you. Everybody don't handle the situation you do and just as you do, and just give your friends a break. You know, even when I was going through my depression, like a really bad stage of my depression, when I was going through it for like 3 months, you know, my friends told me they felt like I was a negative Nancy. I always had stuff going on, and like it got to a point to where we weren't friends anymore. And I was mad then, and sometimes, you know, I'm like, y'all still could have went about it like better, like at least have told me that that's how you felt. But at that same time, I understand because I'm the same way. Like when you constantly talk to somebody or you're constantly around somebody who just has crap, like it can get draining. Energy is real, and when you're around that and it's making you feel negative and sad and just down, it's okay to remove yourself, because I'm not gonna let somebody just drain my energy and make me feel sad all the time and make me feel some type of way when I shouldn't be. So I shouldn't be mad at the next person when they're just at their limit and they don't want to hear my crap. We just have to be a little bit less self-centered, and like just understand when you are venting to someone, when you are placing your problems, some people are some people are empaths. So when you're like, you have to understand, sometimes you're dropping a load on this person and they can't handle that well, especially when they're going through things in their own life. Or even if they're not, if somebody is happy and they're happy in life or whatever, and they don't really have any problems right then, and then you just come and like load all this stuff on top of them, understand that sometimes if it's something that you've vented about 100 times, that's sometimes why they may not handle you in the best way. or when somebody has been down in a situation and they're just now coming out of it and they're happy and they're trying to be happy, and now they have to be around you all the time and you're draining. You cannot be upset with them when they want to remove themselves from the situation, because at the end of the day, we all got to look after ourselves. We all have to take care of our own mentals. A lot of y'all might not agree with me with this information, but that's just my take on it. I've learned that sometimes it can be very annoying to be the shoulder to cry on, but everybody deserves a shoulder to cry on. But I also have learned that there are limits, because just like I want a shoulder to cry on, I need to be a shoulder to cry on, but I also need to know that I cannot abuse someone with my issues over and over and over again, especially if I'm not listening to their advice, if I'm not looking for a solution, if I know that I'm just gonna keep handling the situation the way that I am and there's really no solution to it. I cannot do that to someone, and you shouldn't either. If it's that bad, go to therapy. And if you ain't ready for therapy, as much as that annoys me, nobody's ready for therapy, but everybody wants to talk about their issues. Like, if you ain't ready for therapy, just shut up. Okay, that was harsh, but I mean, there's some truth to it. You know, sometimes they say it's best to vent to strangers, because you're never gonna see this person again and you ain't gotta worry about them telling somebody that you know. So if you got to go out of town, I'm sorry. But if you're in a situation where you are with a stranger and y'all don't work together, you're not gonna see this person again, they're literally just a stranger, and you need to vent and they're willing to listen, then just vent. But give your friend a break. Okay guys, so that's all the tips that I have on venting. I hope that this helped you. If somebody's been venting to you too much and you can't take it, just go ahead and tag them down below in the comment section. If you know someone who needs help on knowing when and when not to vent, or what and what not to vent about, tag them down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe when you like my videos. It really helps them in the algorithm to flourish. And I will see you guys in the next video.